Hey there, Saber World. This is Goodman. I've got 4 different Qui Gon Sabers on my workbench lately, and a couple of these are completed, but I'm actually about to ship them out. Before I did, I thought I'd take the opportunity to do a brief comparison video, which is going to showcase differences and similarities between these sabers. They're each 4 different versions, and I really haven't seen anyone do a comparison of this nature on the internet, so hopefully someone can find this useful. Basically, each of these sabers are, as I said, have either been converted or in the process of being converted to utilize a sound, either an ultrasound or a crystal focus soundboard, and use either Luxeon or lead engine LED emitters. The first up, before I begin, each 4 of these, once I fully complete them, they'll have their own videos with all the details for the actual electronics conversions. For now, this is more just a hilt comparison. The first saber is the JQ Qui Gon. You'll notice in my full review of it, I was very happy with the saber. I thought they did a great job. The JQ team, Susan and Darren, great in customer service and a really fantastic product. The main concession, as discussed in the full review video, is that this central core was sort of hollowed out and they used a black tube, understandable, to allow a 9.6 NIM pack in there. Lots of space and a great resonator cavity, so the sound's very loud. The second saber here is a Larbel. This saber is the Larbel Non-EL-Ready, which means it was solid. Basic difference is you can see a solid all the way through. This initially was solid all the way through. I then went ahead and bored this out. This is being converted to utilize a 1-inch blade. One thing you may notice is that the finish on this is media blasted instead of gloss. Some people will note that the stunt prop or the hero prop in the Phantom Menace movie showed a frosted shroud rather than the chromed or the shiny aluminum versions that Master Replicas later used. I believe one of the screen caps show chrome, but whatever, some people like the different finish. So this particular saber was milled out for an ultrasound. You can see on the back end with the hidden sound holes and space for the battery pack. So that's a very nice saber. It is not stamped on the bottom, unfortunately, but we know that this is in fact a Larbel Non-EL-Ready. Non-EL, again, is just meaning that it was solid compared to its EL-Ready versions, which this saber was. This is a Larbel EL-Ready. I haven't quite been able to determine the reasons why or any sort of correlation, but it seems that some of these sabers can disassemble from this point, some of them can only disassemble from this point, some of them don't disassemble at all. The Larbels I'm talking about here. This particular Larbel EL-Ready saber disassembled only up here in the front. This unthreads. I don't want to take the saber apart, but it unthreads at this point, which allows a lot of relatively easy access to mill out this to a 1-inch blade and then go ahead and fit the optics in an integrated module here. The battery packs fits here with a twin 14500, which are AA sized lithium ion batteries. And the nice benefit with the back end on this saber is that it was hollow. The pommel is hollow, whereas in the non-EO version it was solid, so that allowed a lot of space for the speaker. I can also then go ahead and just pull this out. Able to fit the electronics in the saber, both the crystal focus, the speaker, and the recharge port. Main and auxiliary buttons, and then the pack's hidden up in there. So I'll take a brief moment to discuss why these Larbel Qui Gons, or why these Qui Gons are relatively so difficult to convert. Is, as you can see, there's a lot of air here, and so there's not a lot of space, even though the hilt is fairly large in comparison to other hilts. Because of these film accurate grooves, it leaves you a very narrow area to fit in your batteries and your soundboard or your electronics. That being said, it can be done. Just need a lathe and a mill. So we reviewed the Larbel EL-Ready, which is this one, and the Larbel Non-EL-Ready, which is this one. I'll talk about this particular saber. This is a this is also a Larbel, but it's an earlier version. It disassembles here in the middle. So as opposed to this one, which did not disassemble at all, and this one which disassembled only up here, this one disassembles right below the main button. It's solid there. The back of it is much like the non-EL version, where they're solid. The shroud matches the non-EL version with this shiny sort of color. The most glaring difference is the grooves. We see here that on subsequent EL versions, or rather Larbel versions, the grooves sort of radius, they turn out there in the center. Here they're straight. I actually prefer the straight version, but Master Replicas, according to their version and some of the other screen caps I've seen, it is this curved version which Larbel later went on to produce that is technically the more screen accurate. So again, an interesting hilt. This one is marked number 7, and this will show you, hopefully this is educational to someone when you're looking at purchasing a Larbel, particularly if you're looking to convert it. Do be cognizant of that there are different types. A lot of us already know that there are EL-Ready and non-EL-Ready versions, but do get lots of pictures and try and determine exactly which sub-variant, if you will, of each version of Larbel you're getting. Either way, I think all of the Larbels are wonderful, top quality, and JQ Qui Gon, their JQ Qui Gon Saber, as you can see side by side, definitely a good attempt and a good stab at the saber. A quick side by side. A lot of the angles are correct, the proportions are nice. The JQ does is a little narrower in places, but altogether an elegant saber. I think it retains the feel of the original prop. So that's 8 minutes of Larbel Qui Gon talk. I hope someone's found this educational, hopefully helpful in planning out your next conversion and or doing some research on your subsequent planned purchase of a Larbel Qui Gon lightsaber. Next up, I'll be making a video showing off the differences between the Larbel Obi-Wan series of lightsabers, both EL-Ready and non-EL-Ready. So stay tuned for that. We'll have the continuation of the Larbel party.